Alright, today we are back with another replay analysis. So we have a Rem here, or Remy. I think it's just a Rem though. Rem's a Champ 3. He needs help in Standard. Also, he wants help with his positioning and rotating. So he has names of Remy. Name of replay. I think he gave me a different replay than this one. So we'll go ahead and look in here for it. Actually turn that off. There we go. But I'm pretty sure the one he sent me is just this one. So hopefully, yeah. Alright. Let's get into it here. He is Champ 3, so he is going to be better than the previous ones I've done. Which is good, because I think it's easier to critique a better player than it is a lower ranked player. But let's make sure everything's good. Yep. Alright, so first off, right off the bat, we have it's competitive. It's about mid Champ 3, so we have 1453 and 1478. The blue team's a little bit better in terms of MMR. They do have CRL. Blue team has a CRL Season 1 Elite, while the other team has 2 Season 9 Grand Champions. I do know that Trevez down there is a CRL player as well. So, yeah, that doesn't mean much, but just something to take note of. He does practice with the team. So, everyone so far, or everyone's not in a party, it's completely solo queue. So, should be interesting. So, let's just go ahead and hop into this. Playing on Starbase. Good old Starbase. Actually, we're going to keep that up. I don't know. God damn. Actually, I need to turn that off. Okay, good. And all this like going back and forth with the camera, that kind of fucks with me. But I mean, if I probably wouldn't recommend doing that, but that's something minor. It's just me nitpicking, I guess. Doesn't really matter. So is this boost gone, or is it? No, it's just a replay glitch, I believe. Good use of ball cam. Like flipping it on once or twice here. Right here, I would stop probably turning it on and off, because at this point you already know where the ball is. You can see everyone on the field, and you have your boost. So really, you just need to pay attention to play what's going on, because you can actually start turning back up field here. Not too much, but right here you can kind of see how off to the right. More than likely, I don't know where this play is going. I haven't really watched it, but I'm going to assume the ball's going right here. So I'd probably, if I were Remy in this situation, since Johnny Jet is middle, I would probably put myself to the right. And since Johnny Jet can't see me, I'm going to assume Johnny Jet's going to come up and be second man, and I need to be third man back. So I'll stay probably around midfield here and not come up too far. Because going back this far for the play, like you're watching the play, what's going on. Okay, so actually just scratch what I just kind of said here. I thought the ball was going a little bit higher. I thought he was hitting it more towards the backboard, but I guess not. But yeah, either way, it's not a bad play to go that far, go back, because you didn't go that far back. Here, let's see. Yeah, so right here, once you see the ball go flying up, probably like right here, you can start to jump and go for that. I mean, to be honest, you probably could have waited too. You probably didn't even need to challenge that. Just judging by where... no, you probably did. Especially against better opponents, you definitely want to challenge that as early as you can. So probably like right here, because at this point you know it's hitting ceiling and it's coming down. So you can prepare for that. and going up kind of late like that just gives you kind of a bad touch. And also, that wasn't the best aerial takeoff. I don't know how well Remy here is at doing fast aerials, but he should be jumping. So he jumps. Wait for it. Jumps, right? Start to pull back, and then jump again, and then boost. Yeah, he only jumped once. He didn't even double jump on this one. So this could be, just an anomaly, and maybe he just fucked it up, which is normal because all of us make mistakes. But him having that touch puts his team in a very very bad position. Because now they're forced to rush back, and he basically handed off possession to him. If you go to Gord's POV here, hold on. Actually, let's take it back a little bit further. So the ball goes up. So he's patient. He realizes that the bad touch. That demo actually kind of hampered him a little bit. He even could have tried to launch it off backboard instead of waiting like this, because now he's in an awkward spot. But yeah, that touch put your team in a really bad spot, but luckily it didn't go anywhere. Partly because Gord is not very good, or he didn't play that very well, I should say. I don't know how good he is. But he did do a good job there. But let's go back to Remy here. Off the demo. So off the demo, goes and grabs boost, which is kind of fine. Backflips into the ball. Honestly, that's probably the best case scenario, even though you could see that he's flipping, or that he's coming towards the ball. So like if you hit it towards him, I mean, he's probably gonna hit it. It's better than letting him go up and pinch it, because like right now, if you weren't there, he'd probably land under it and pop it off the wall middle. So it's good that you touched that. Made it awkward for him at least, and your teammate was there. So right here, what I would have been doing, you didn't need to jump that early. So since you're already up on the wall and it's not a particularly fast shot, you can drive along the wall, and it looks like it's going to be, yeah, it was going to hit. I don't even think you hit it. Or if you did, you barely did. It's definitely going to be along the, let's see. It's going to land along the backboard, right? So instead of jumping out, you could have just waited, and then drove around, and then hit it out towards here, if that makes any sense. So instead of forcing yourself to jump out, and it could be a good touch, but Therese is already back here, right? So it's, I don't know, it's probably just safer, because especially if you do something like that and miss, it makes it a lot easier to hit. And you can also follow it up a lot easier. Since Therese is over there, you can either go 50 him or possibly beat him to the ball. Instead of, hitting it out here the way you jumped. So hitting it out here, since Therese is already here, unless you hit it like out here behind him, even so he can still get it, since he's going to be driving basically parallel in front of you. If you hit it out here, he can easily just take this up along the wall and go up and do whatever, right? Meanwhile, you can't really do much, because for one, you didn't have that much boost to catch up to him, and for two, you're going to be in the air for a little bit. So it'd be better to hit it out into the corner, and maybe like over here along the wall somehow, and just kind of make it awkward for him, instead of giving them straight up possession. But let's see where Johnny Jet is, because he did double commit. So he should have saw that you were on backboard there, and he should have trusted that you were going up, because him rotating the net right here, he can see both of his teammates, right? And he can see a clear income. He even looks back for the opponent. He knows the opponent's shooting, right? But at the same time, as he sees that the opponent's going to be shooting, he's looking at you essentially right here. Or he's not, but he can see you, especially right there. Right there, Remy, you just went out of frame, going up the wall. He should have known that you were up there, and he shouldn't have committed. That was kind of weird hit, though. You should have hit that ball. That was good old Rocket League. Luckily, the Wizard was there to 50 this. Or I guess he wasn't. I guess the guy just sucked at shooting and missed. And he was patient with that and got the clear for the most part. Good job of getting a bump there. Let's go back to Remy, though, and see how you deal with this place. After you miss, little bump on the Wizard. I don't know where the Wizard's going, but you're following close behind. Or not close behind, but behind, being third man. Again, with the camera stuff, I don't know if that's intentional or not, but that just throws me off. Holy. Yeah, you really don't even need to turn off ball cam here, because you have everyone in your line of sight, and although you don't have a lot of boost, unless you were just looking for that one boost pad, which I guess you could have been, you really just could have been having your eyes on the play. So another whiff here. You could have just waited a little bit longer. That's all you could really do there, because it's good to go for that. And you could get that clear pretty easily. You can either pinch it along the backboard or something else. But you just jumped too early for that, because obviously, I mean, you're up where the ball hit the wall, right? So that's just like a timing issue. And it can be kind of hard to judge that, but you have to kind of wait for the last second, especially if you have only 42 boosts, which is actually more than enough, but just timed a little bit too early. So, as far as positioning wise here, so right now I'd count you as third man, although I don't know exactly where the Wizard is. Yeah, he's there. He should have been up closer, to be honest. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to worry about you for now. Let's see how you do this takeoff. So yeah, you just turn a little bit too much, and then you kind of have to like correct yourself. And you're not doing any fast aerials either. You're not double jumping for any of them. If you would have double jumped this, and did a fast aerial, you would have easily beat him to the ball and hit it on the backboard. And I don't know where your other teammate is, Johnny. He probably could have turned and went for that backboard pass if you beat it. Or even the Wizard could have. So, yeah, you easily could have beat Janky to the ball, but instead, you got some weird takeoff and didn't even double jump. So that's twice now that I've seen you not double jump for a high aerial like that. So that could be a potential issue for you. So went for the boost. I'm assuming whenever you have these weird like camera moments where you're turning it on and off, I'm going to assume that you're looking for your teammates, which is good, because you can see that the Wizard's challenging that, so you know to stay back. So that's good. You got a good touch over him. I don't know if you were just trying to pass. I don't think you were trying to pass. I think you were just trying to block it. Again, a fast aerial would have helped you here. Double jumping, I recommend, because even though you did double jump, you can do it a lot quicker. And this is kind of a hard ball to hit, and you still make contact. But that's probably so far what I'd recommend for you to focus on, is going into training and practicing getting faster with your aerials. I had the same issue about 2 or 3 months ago until I went into training and just really started focusing on it. And it's helped me a lot more than you would think. Okay, so after you hit that over here, God, fucking camera, ball cam thing. Okay, so I would have just went to net here. I mean, I think you just misread, or expected someone to be there shooting it. I probably would have just got this boost right here and then went straight for the middle of the net and grabbing those 2 extra boosts to have more. That's what I would have done. Because even if someone was there shooting it, I would have enough time to react, or hopefully I had enough time to react. That's what I would be doing. So now you are far left. Wasn't a bad shot. So Johnny didn't get the best passes, but he did get it out to you. What you could have done since you had a little bit more time is you could actually swung it out a little bit wider and give yourself a little bit more room and an angle to kind of shoot that. So start swinging out here and then kind of drift in and shoot it a little bit better. Because right there you just shot it into him. And the positioning of where you shot it, even if the one guy in net wasn't there, Janky here up along the wall probably could have saved that shot. It would have been close, but either way, you put it right in there, and I know it was a tough angle, but you also could have hit it up along the wall and then gone up for a pass down, because the way Janky's coming down right now, right? So if you were to decide right about here to jump up and hit it so that way it rolls up along the wall, the wizard should be, well, okay, he's not. He should be up there for a pass. There's no reason he should be all the way downfield grabbing boost. But that's just another option. Just knowing that you don't always have to shoot the ball. You can always look for better options to pass or keep possession is good too. So right here, what I would say you're doing wrong is, so you're going back in the net, right? And the play isn't really, like, it's not coming your way, it looks like. It's good that you're paying attention to it, because you can, if the ball does come your way, you can cut it off and do whatever. But what I see here is that you only have 47 boosts, and you're not making any effort to go either on the right boost lane or the middle boost lane. Because you pass one boost there, another boost on the side, boost on the right, and you end up grabbing this one, which is good. But I mean, you only picked up one boost pad out of 5 or 6 there. So if you would have came down the middle, that would have been 3 right there, and you basically would have been at full boost. Right. And you do a good job. I did watch this part earlier. I did notice, so you do come into the back of the net here, right? Which is good. Of course, you don't over-exaggerate and go to the exact back post. But one thing you do is you kind of defeat the purpose of doing that by drifting, or not drifting, but kind of just like driving forward. Because I know you're watching the play. You're not really paying attention to what your car is doing. And by you coming forward, it makes this play really awkward for you. Because that guy hits the ball. Actually, I don't even know how he hits it. That's a really weird touch. But either way, if you were just a little bit back forward, because you even come out of net here, like you're along the sidewall now, you're not even really covering net, except for like a really tight angle. And having a ball like that loft over it, if he was just a little bit more accurate, that ball probably could have went in. And if you would have stayed middle of the net, you would have had a lot better chance of hitting that. Or noticing that it's going out and letting it go and then turning around and getting it. So, It's just small things like that that you have to focus on. So within that play, you didn't pick up small boost pads rotating back. You rotated it into the back of the like the back post, which is good. But you didn't stay middle or back post, middle post, or middle of the goal or back post, right? You kind of crept up and essentially left your net open. So right here, you notice that Johnny gets beat. So you run up the wall to block T here from getting the ball, which is good. This is kind of a tough clear. You do pass it right to him. You didn't really have a lot of options though. Probably what I would have done. I mean, yeah, there's not much more you can do. The only thing I would have done is probably jump twice there and maybe try to get a little bit more oomph on it to make it just a little bit more awkward for the other team. But since that guy was coming at you so quickly, there's only so much you can do. Luckily, he doesn't get a very good shot on net, and your teammates in net is able to clear that. I want to point out one thing that Johnny did, though. So after he gets beat, right? So he's out here actually looking for a pass, which is good, right? After he sees that, I mean, it's not really a pass. It's kind of middle out in the open. He shouldn't have went for that at all, because that just throws him out of position, and he ends up getting beat to the ball anyways. So unnecessary challenge by him there. Of course, now that forces him to go middle and grab boost, which probably shouldn't be doing that either. But nevertheless, he does. So that just kind of shows you that how important it is to know where your teammates are at, because I know and you know that he shouldn't have gone for that, right? And now that the Wizard, is clearing it, now it's your job, because Johnny's not rotating back or even challenging the ball. You have to cover net, because Janky can potentially get a passing play or a shot on net right now. Because this guy's even going for a demo now, because he knows that you're the last one back. Luckily, Janky misses, and you kind of have to wait on Therese here. But and see, that's the thing, is like somehow it ends up working to where Johnny's back in the play and he actually makes a pretty good clear, even after all the things he just did wrong with the challenge and going for boost. It's just really, I just don't get it sometimes. Like, you do 4 things wrong and then it ends up allowing you to do something right, and I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But so good job here. You notice both your teammates are clumped up. You go back. Good patience, good teammate awareness, not going up for that, and allowing the Wizard to go up for that. That's smart, especially in solo queue. Right here, I probably would just. You probably just want to get a touch on the ball. I think you were going for a shot here. Just judging by the angle you came in at. I've, at the very least, probably would have just shot or tried to 50, because he's coming here. So I probably would have just tried to go towards the middle of the ball. I know it's easier to say because I'm not in the game time decision, but I'm not in the game, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's probably what I would have done. Let's see what Johnny did, how they scored. Because honestly, no matter if you hit that ball or not, you should not have gotten scored on here. So, looking at Johnny after this play, so the ball goes up over there. He grabs their boost, which is good. He immediately, he's getting like the tunnel vision all on the ball. He's not paying attention to you, and I doubt he's paying very much attention to the defense. Because what he should have done is, after he grabbed that boost, because that's fine, right? Right here is fine, because the Wizard's going to get the ball. You're there for a pass or shot or whatever, right? And that gives him time to grab the boost and get back, and that eventually will start a boost serve if he can keep the pressure on, right? So that's smart. What he should have done is went back to midfield, because coming up like this, I mean, it's not like you have 30 seconds left in the game and you're down a goal, right? You have 2 minutes and 46 seconds left. There's really no need to be up that close. And if he was back midfield, um, actually here, I can just... So if he went back up over here and went, he could easily hit this ball, right? Either up into the corner or stop it somehow and allow both of you, since both of you are up, time to get back, right? But of course he didn't do that. He kind of got tunnel vision for the goal and forced up, and then they just ended up getting... I'm pretty sure that was probably just lucky. I don't think he meant to really score that. But either way, that was Johnny's fault. And of course, Remy, you could have done your job and hit the ball, but since you're a second man and you still did that third person, or you should have had the third person back, it's not entirely your fault. So you do a good job of picking up boosts there. Let's see. So right here, after you know that you're going to turn upfield, I would at least turn ball cam on once more here so you can kind of see what's going on, because right now you don't know where anyone's at and you don't know where the ball is at. I mean, you can, by the arrow you can, but that's not really a good indicator. So now you know that it's a 1v1 situation for the most part, and and you have to make a play. Again, you kind of go a little bit to the outside. I think you were more. It's kind of hard to say. I don't want to say that. I was gonna say that you're more worried about the clear than the save, but I think you just misread it, because that is kind of tricky, because you don't know if he's from right here. It kind of looks like he's just gonna smack that right in. He gets a bad touch on it because he actually could have scored that. So I actually probably would have went in and probably smacked post with the flip, because I thought he would be scoring that. But either way, you get a touch on it, which is at the very least what you want, because it keeps it from going middle. So, and your teammate's there to flick it up and over. Good job getting up on the wall. Good job going for a bump there. That's smart. What I would have done here, instead of going for that boost, so after I grab this boost pad and I see that the ball is going up and over and your teammate's probably going to be able to clear it, I would have, what I would have done is right here, so you can see right here, right, your teammate is going to probably clear this, whether up or up over here or up over there. Either way, what I would have done is I would have started turning and coming up here for the out of defense pass, because that allows Johnny to have kind of like a target to hit, assuming that he is looking at you. That's kind of like the big take. Like, that's why solo queue, at least for me, is bad, because I put myself in situations like this where I'm like, okay, going for an out of defense pass, right, to get a counter attack going. Because if he hits it up to you, you're probably going to have a pretty good clear downfield, and you probably won't be able to score it, but at least you get the pressure off of your side, and allow your team, to get boosts and everything. But what a lot of people do in solo queue, or just ranked in general, is they don't really look for this sort of stuff. And so if you were to go up here, like I said, although here it looks like he was going to hit it up towards the wall, unless, like, if he didn't get 50'd, he was going to go up towards the wall. But what I was saying is that it's very easy to throw yourself out of positions. Like, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I kind of lost track of what I was saying. I think, no, I do know. The putting yourself into positions like that can help you if you're in communication with your team. Solo queue ranked, I mean, you don't know if Johnny's going to be looking at you or not. So that's probably the best thing that you can do in solo queue, is make sure your teammate awareness is and opponent awareness is very high. So looking for passes, going for passes, and that will help out with your rotation a lot. Not terrible to go for this. Uh, I would say if you're going to go for this, probably just have your teammate know, which you're not in comms, so you couldn't, but that's what I would have done. Again, I don't think Johnny was looking at you. Because he could have actually, if he noticed like the way you were going and were hitting that, even if you weren't aiming for him, if he would have turned up field earlier, he could have either shot that or bopped it in or something. So Johnny's not very good at teammate awareness or looking at his teammates and trying to create a play from nothing, which is really important. Um, so rotating and back net again, that's good. Teammates double committing. Again, you kind of creep out here, so you rotate into the back of net. Both your teammates go up. And normally I would say, yeah, go for like a midfield pass. Maybe not in this like specific spot, but maybe start creeping out a little bit. But since you're last back, I mean, you can just see how awkward it, like of a position it puts you guys in, right? So if you were just to slow down just a little bit and kind of just like wait for the play to develop a little bit more, maybe turn off ball cam here, and look downfield, right? And see, okay, Therese is right there. I'm gonna stay and wait to see where he hits it. Or if you see like the wizard starting to come back like he does, that's when you can move out. Was that a double jump? It might have been. Not a terrible challenge. Could have been a little bit cleaner, but it's alright. Again, you're kind of creeping out of net again here. You know your last back. You kind of land a little more than halfway across the goal. I would have just drove down a little bit and gave myself like out right here. I would have just drove down a little bit more and put myself in a better landing position. But also you start to creep out of net yet again here. And maybe you thought that the wizard was going to be in net, but either way, I probably would have just stayed in net a little bit longer. Okay, so you're following him, you're second man, or you should be second man. I don't know. Yeah, so the wizard, so you can't see the wizard at all. I mean, you saw a little bit of him right there, so I probably would have, I don't know. It's kind of a tricky play here. Holy, that guy's camera settings. What the? Oh my god. So, let's kind of break this down from kind of the top. See, Johnny has to deal with an awkward ball, right? One thing he could have done better, since this guy touched the ball, which is actually a really smart touch, I probably would have just cut it in right here, cut it in to the inside, and either try to pass it or shoot it somehow. Because a 50 here can just go either way. It can just keep going along the wall, or you know, who knows where it could go, right? So if I was Johnny, that's what I probably would have done. That's just kind of like a ones thing. As for you though, so right here you do see the wizard. Actually, yeah. So you see the wizard being second man, right? You go up for the boost, and that's when I probably would have slowed down or stayed back, which you kind of do. But you also didn't give yourself that much time to react, especially if he would have got that clear over you. But you didn't put a very good shot on net. I probably would have went backboard with it from here, just because you knew that wizard was middle. Again, not everything has to be a shot on net. Good job going backboard. Yeah, that's a smart play there, going backboard on that. So kind of a good pass here. You didn't take a shot downfield, and you lofted it high because you didn't exactly know where your teammates were, so that's pretty good. Again, ball came off for a little bit too long. I know you were looking for boost here, um, but a really bad habit that a lot of people have is rotating all the way back for boost, like you're doing here. Because it might not matter like right now, but if you start to play against a good team, like let's say you're on your team, and you guys start to do that, and you go up against another good team, what you're doing by going all the way back in most situations is you're giving up that pressure. You'd be amazed by how little boost you need on offense to keep like heavy pressure. Excuse me, especially if you're um, collecting those small boost pads. You don't really need that much boost, so it's really almost never important or never a good idea to go all the way back from offense just to collect boost. So there you go, nice play here. Let's get a look at this clear. So it's coming towards you. Good job getting a 50. Both your teammates double commit. And you stay back, which is good. Kind of a gutsy call to go for that aerial right there. I think you just kind of faked out Gord here. I would, excuse me, I would not recommend doing that against a good team. But I mean, it's not a bad thing to do, especially actually no, you should have done that just because both your teammates are coming back and both of them can defend. So good job there. Going off kickoff, going for that boost. Going for the demo, nice. So a lot of people have this misconception about rotation, that it has to be like this stiff rotation of first man comes up, then rotates back to third man, second man becomes first, and third becomes second, right? So, right here is a good example of when to not cut rotation. So it is on offense, it's always good to cut, or not always good, it's good to cut rotation because it keeps your offense heavy. And it creates a lot of pressure for you to like cut this off because now all of a sudden you're right back in their face and you have to get a 50, right? But since you're not in comms, you do have to be a little bit more careful with that. And right here isn't the best time to challenge that because, I mean, for one, you didn't even get to the ball in time, and for two, the wizard's right there. He's very close. He crept up very close on that. So I would have just went back here instead of trying to challenge that ball, because even if you do get the 50, there's not many spots the ball can go that can really benefit you. So, but good job getting the demo. But I would have turned up field, probably would have turned off ball cam like you did, and look for those boost pads at boost lane, and then head back. Because right here, you have to realize that Gord's going to beat you to that ball. And you just have to assume that he is. You can't really say, oh, he's a bad player, and he's not. You have to assume that he's going to get that ball in that clear, and that you should just go back. Mm, okay. So I would have, instead of going up and challenging just in the air, I would have saved boost and turned up the wall because you know he's going to be hitting it along the wall or along the ceiling, something like that. You would have been able to, if you would have turned up here, it would have give you a lot better angle of attack to either get the clear or make the save, whatever it is. Stop the ball from going midfield in front of your net is probably what your main goal should be there. And by going up here, it's very easy for him to get it around you. And then also puts you in a bad spot and uses up all your boost. So uh I this is just a shit show here. But I think the reason you challenged because you know it was late in the game. Um, ooh, got lucky there. Yeah. I probably just would have done a smarter challenge there. Made sure I hit the ball. Ooh. So that was good patience here. Um, that was just a really quick play from Trev. That was a really good shot too. Um, but you probably should have wouldn't. You probably should have been paying attention to how Trev was going because you could see that he's going for that shot pretty far back. You can see that he's still going for it, right? Um, so considering where Johnny's at in net, right? He has to back up and wait. You can just go ahead and challenge this instead of waiting too. Maybe you just didn't see Trev, which understandable because it was a very fast shot. Um, here, really, I mean, there's no need for all three of you to be this close together. Um, I honestly probably just would have turned back a little bit and prepared because that pass. I mean, for one, it wasn't even near any of you, and for two, you have no defender, and Johnny is probably not going to turn back and do it. So you have to be the cautious one and kind of rotate or not rotate back, but kind of go back a little bit and be prepared to make a save. Good save there. You don't need to be wasting all that boost there. So once you have the boost, you don't really need to rush to get back. Um, if you look at the play, so not a huge deal, but all the boost management, wasting boosts tends to add up pretty quickly. So just something to take note of. So you go for that. I would once you see that boost is there, I would have had ball cam on almost immediately to see where the play is at, considering that you're so far out of position. Because who knows, maybe the ball's flying at you and you can turn and score it. So it's always good to keep the ball cam on for most of the time, or keep the moments where you turn ball cam off. Keep those short and quick. So basically, turn it off, get all the information you need to know, like whether you're looking at opponents or you're looking for the boost pads or big boost pads, whatever. Um, that's what I would do. Keep those to, or just keep those to a minimum. Keep them quick. Um, so you're not really hitting the ball, and like you're not trying to really possess the ball or do anything with it. So you get the initial hit, right? But then I feel like you're not really having like a second, like a plan to do like right here. Like you have to be thinking a few steps ahead. You just can't be, I'm gonna hit the ball somewhat middle, then hopefully I can get a pass. You kind of have to plan ahead of what you're gonna do. So hit the ball up, right? Um, and then stick to the wall and pass it middle, or hit the ball up and then or go and shoot it. Like just hitting it like this, because you have a little bit more time. Like you don't have much time, but you can obviously beat them to the ball, and you can roll that up the wall. You don't really have to slam it into the wall. You can roll it up the wall and then do something from there. Because just hitting it along the wall, um, that's not doing much. You're just kind of giving possession away, or it's not a very good pass. Good save there. Again, the ball cam thing, I don't know if that's just a I'm hoping that's a replay glitch. But again, rotating all the way back, right beside the boost lane, not grabbing any boost, going all the way back for boost from offense. Again, rotating along the big boost pads, not grabbing any small boosts. That seems to be a big thing for you. Make sure you're using your time wisely. And collecting the small boost pads when you can. Because if you're just driving back as fast as you can, unless you're trying to go to a specific ball, or make a save, whatever, you're kind of just wasting time doing nothing, just flipping back. And it ends on an own goal. Yeah, not a lot of this is civilized. It's all just like a big game of ping pong in a sense. Then whoever messes up more. So your rotation was kind of fine. I think the thing that would help you out the most is probably just focusing on your opponents and where your teammates are at. Or focusing on your teammates probably is the biggest thing, I would say. That would help you probably the most, especially in solo queue, because ranked's it's not a real representation of what 3 should actually be. It's very different. It's a lot more organized. An actual 3s game, like a match. Like here, I can kind of give you an example of what I mean. Here's us playing Wisconsin, game 1. So let's see. So that's not a very good example. Oh man, things do get hectic and everything. But what I'm trying to say is just look at how I'm playing here. I can see all my teammates and all my opponents. I can kind of basing off my position of how the ball is where the ball's going. I went up for that knowing I probably wasn't going to hit it, but teammates are back to help me, and see how far back I am from the play. Both my teammates are up, and I'm back by midfield, right? And see, that was a good cut by Blanks. I don't think he called me off of it, though, so that's why, right here, if he called me off, I could have just turned away immediately, but since he didn't, if you look at Fish Rule Soy, right, it's a lot easier for him to 50 me than it is 50 Blanks, and if Blanks actually got a good touch there, then that could have been he did get bumped there, so that's probably why he missed it. But it just creates that pressure, because now the ball is going into the other side of the field, or maybe Chazzy's there to hit it, but I'm also there to challenge him as well, because he has to let that go, because he has no boost as well. And I could probably beat him up to the wall and beat him to the clear. But this isn't the best example. We weren't playing the best here. Playing very well at all. But you know what I mean. Probably main things for you. make sure you're picking up small boost pads. Don't rotate on the big boosts. And definitely, if you're going to do in solo queue, definitely look out for your teammates and opponents. That's probably the biggest things you can do to improve. Otherwise, other than that, get with the team and start reviewing replays and communicating and things like that. Yeah, because if you want to get better, ranked probably isn't the way to go from here on out. Because once you get GC, it's like, okay, I mean, rank's just kind of ranked. You want to get with the team and start improving on the smaller things like communication, like cutting rotation, which requires communication and things like that. So that's what I would recommend. Other than that, yeah, not bad. Also work on your fast aerials. That's what I recommend. All right.